And to London, we don't like to do this often to England because, a lot of stuff, but we would like to apologize for that game.
Yeah.
Okay, that game was
hand up.
That was tough. Yeah, it's on us for you guys having that one. And I think there's been a lot of bad games. Hembo sent me a stat though that basically said that was by far the worst one. I mean, the 20 combined first downs in yesterday's London game were 7 fewer than any international game in NFL history. This was by far the worst one of all time. So we'd like to say, hey, Governor, sorry about it. But on that note, a ridiculous thing happened right before half that you guys won't often get to see. Right before half, people were saying it's a tough scene. Aaron Glenn, obviously first-year head coach, former defensive coordinator from the Detroit Lions, doesn't normally have to deal with all the situational shit on the defensive side of the ball. Probably has somebody in his game situation camp that is in his ear, has his ear. No timeouts. Obviously, it starts with like 20-some seconds on the clock. That's 4th and 1. Okay, so this is a tough situation for a team to be in, okay? Especially if your quarterback at the time was 17 yards he had thrown for. Okay, 17 yards in the half. And at the end of the game would end up with a net negative 10 yards passing. And the reason why it's negative 10 yards is because sacks count against your pass yards. They gave up 9 sacks for negative 55 yards. He only passed for 45 or 47 yards. So you start doing some math, they had negative net. So Aaron Glenn, I think, wasn't 100% confident that they were going to be able to pick up maybe 2 yards to get a first down there on a quick out. Everybody's like, hey, 4th and 1, you only need 1 yard here. There's no timeouts. You're playing off coverage. Okay, we'll throw a quick out, pick up a first down. Will we? We've thrown for 17 yards this half. Aaron Glenn's trying to figure that out in real time.
Yeah.
It's not really a situation that comes up on a very regular basis because if you give them the ball right there, you pick up 4 or 5 yards, that's a field goal. Mm-hmm. So it's like this could be a real swing. Tough situation, obviously mismanaged. And then Garrett Wilson comes out afterwards and goes, I had no idea what the plan was. And then when I heard what the plan was, I was disappointed. I don't love it. But there was one answer, we think. Like, every team is going to talk about this situation around the league. We do think there was an answer.
Yeah, they'll show it around the league, but I think it was just a Hail Mary. You get to that point, and to your like we just saw a first-year head coach kind of learn something in real time. We always hear head coaches say, hey, there is no manual that comes with it, and it's easy for us, especially once the half is over, to say what we got to say. But, you just got to throw the Hail Mary there, give yourself a chance to get something positive there. But he was like,
but it has to be last play of half.
Got to be last play.
That ball's getting snapped 3 seconds, 4
sure,
seconds, or whatever. Sure. And if you wanted to do the out, you would have to do it like 6, 5 seconds, so that maybe you get one more play. If you want to get it closer, maybe kick a field goal, get a little bit closer there. But if you drop that or don't complete that, they got to play. They got to play now going the other way. There was a lot going on. But I think with how shite the game was, that situation happening and it being the Jets franchise, just kind of, this is a clown show. Mm-hmm. Why is this what we would send to London? Kind of rude of us to do this.
It also wasn't even just that last play. Like that whole drive, like Kurt Warner was losing his mind for the entire 2 minutes. It was, yes, the last play or whatever, but the whole drive was a weird situation.
Aaron Glenn was then asked afterwards if Justin Fields are still going to be the quarterback. And he had a little bit of a reaction, about how dumb of a question that was, basically. He has come out since then and said this.
You know what? Here's what, I thought about this a lot last night. I thought about the question that was asked. And when you look at what Justin did, the games that he played, listen, I didn't think he was bad at all. I actually thought he did some pretty good things in those 4 games. In this 5th game, he took a step back, and I'm with you guys 100%. And we can't have that. We have to get better than that. And he knows that. And he knows that better than anyone, So I don't think you just try to bench a player after having one true bad game, because I thought the other games he played fairly well.
Aaron Glenn's got his players back. I think that's what you're hearing right there. And I'd like to think that literally right before half, that whole thing, he was just trying to get to the locker room. I think he was just trying to get to the locker room, however the hell we can get to the locker room. Right now, they're going to say the clock's going to run to 0, and we're going to be able to go inside if we don't do anything else. Let's do that. Let's get the hell out of here. This Denver Broncos defense is no joke. I mean, they are on a historic run. Vance Joseph right now is on pace for 85 sacks, their defense, which would crush the record of 72, obviously, which is the previous record. They're averaging 5 sacks per game, and they have a 10-sack lead on the rest of the NFL right now, okay? So this Jets offense, there certainly might be some question marks. And Justin Fields might not be a top 5 quarterback in the NFL at this stage of his career, or maybe ever in his career whenever it comes to, delivering the ball and point guarding and everything like that. But I think this Denver Broncos defense is a defense that will expose you I think they will expose whether or not you have a good quarterback or a good offense. So I think it's a good kind of thermostat or a kind of judgment, a good comp on how you're going to be. They're going to do that to a lot of teams that don't have great offense.
Oh, yeah, great litmus test, because when you go, it's not just the quarterback. It's the offensive coordinator, it's the offensive line, it's the running backs. Are you going to be able to protect? Because they're going to keep applying pressure, which a couple weeks ago when they came and played the Colts and it came down that last-second field goal, they blitzed Daniel Jones like 70% of his dropbacks and only sacked him once. So that lets you know how well the Colts are being coached and how well Daniel Jones is playing.
Justin Fields and the Jets. It's been quite the scene. I think a lot of us thought at the beginning of the season maybe Aaron Glenn is rowing in the right direction. Maybe Fields and Garrett Wilson are going to work out, and turns out they fucking suck again, dude.
Jeez!
But what do you think about that whole entire situation? Are they just going to sell everybody? Brees Hall to the Chiefs, Garrett Wilson to, I don't know, the Bucks. Like, do you expect that to happen? Because Pat actually apologized to all of England because this wasn't football. It was the most disgusting thing that's ever been graced solely on its own as its own game without anything else on. It was the worst display of football I think the NFL's ever put on. Actual stat, 7 less first downs in the history of international football.
Yeah, that offensive tape was a total disaster. It's as bad as an offensive tape as I've watched in years. I'm surprised because I really enjoyed time with them a couple weeks ago having Monday Night Football and was really impressed with Aaron Glenn. It's not equating to wins right now, so I can't defend that. But that offensive tape was absolutely terrible. Garrett Wilson's career is like dying there. He's being wasted talent-wise. I've defended Justin a lot, and I don't think yesterday's performance is totally on Justin. But Garrett's open. Like, Garrett's open on tape yesterday. And we like, my thing is this with dude, if it's man coverage, just throw the ball to him. I don't care what the route says. I don't care what the read says. If it's man coverage, throw him the ball. And we're like the final play of the game, throw him the ball. And so the Jets got a really difficult situation right now because it's not going well offensively. Here's the thing also. They paid the perimeter before they paid the front.
Yep.
Really. Like they paid Sauce and they paid Garrett. They're two really, really, really good players. I don't necessarily know if that's the best way to go about rebuild. I think they have to entertain trading everybody of value. Absolutely, because you're 0-7 or 0-6, and it doesn't look promising.
Yeah, and they're trying to turn it around anyways. They're trying to change the entire culture. And remember, Aaron Glenn told Aaron Rodgers, go ahead and pack it up and get the hell out of the building. And
I just don't know, Pat, when the player says it. Like, if you're Garrett Wilson, you've done 5 or 6 years of this now.
Just signed a new deal.
He's paid now.
Just signed a new deal. Just signed a new deal. This is just like Myles Garrett. I think it's hard for people to find any empathy for Myles Garrett because he wanted to go somewhere. Remember, he wrote the entire letter about saying it's not just about being all pro or something like that. I want to win games. And then everybody's like, oh, Myles Garrett's leaving. Myles Garrett's leaving. Then he gets $40 million a year, resets the entire market. It's like, all right, Myles Garrett knows what he's signing up for whenever he goes to Cleveland Browns, which is the same thing Joe Thomas signed up for, even though, he wanted to win. I'm not saying they don't deserve to win because of how great of the football players they are, but I think it's just like Tyreek going to Miami. When Tyreek decided to go to Miami and get the biggest check, it's hard to have any empathy. It's like, hey, you decided to leave and go get more money. You made that decision to chase the bag. I think that is, it's hard for people to feel empathy for that,